All right. All right, number 3. Have you changed your writing style for this project? And if so, how? I've changed certain things about my own style to fit in with this, in the sense that, as I said before, Dot's style is so singular, and there are certain things that she would and would not do. In the sense that, like, my own writing style is very influenced by Randy Newman and Frank Zappa and Lindsey Buckingham and just stuff that I've sort of gotten into my own playing, which has nothing to do with the Shaggs. And I had to kind of step back and think about, like, what would Dot Wiggin say? How would she approach these things? And lyrically, the Shaggs are such an honest band that after a while it becomes very apparent, like, no, Dot wouldn't say that. She would say this. Those kinds of things, when you're writing for yourself, I don't think you ever question that. Maybe you think about the character, what the character would say or how they would feel, but I don't think you ever think about putting yourself in another person's shoes in that way, in another writer's shoes. And it was really interesting because it sort of freed me up a little bit. On Philosophy of the World, every song is in G major or C major. There's only a few chords. So I thought, like, oh, if I'm going to be writing stuff with Dot, I need to only use these chords. And I thought that would be really limiting. In a way, it was the opposite. It was like, all right, this is what we have. This is our vocabulary. Let's make it work. So what I thought would be kind of like these weird, like, musical shackles was the opposite. It actually gave me a great structure to work from. And then knowing that, I wasn't going to be able to use, for lack of a better term, SAT words in the writing. Everything had to be very, you need to be able to understand the words as they were being sung, which is really cool. Which, I couldn't be too intellectual about it, which is great because, and it's made the music sound really consistent. And one of the greatest compliments that we've gotten from other people who have heard the record or who have seen Dot live, they said, wow, the new stuff really holds up really well with the Shaggs. And I think it's because, for me at least, I'm tapping into Dot's writing style and, completely avoiding my own style. Have you changed your playing style for this project? And if so, how? I think if you listen to the bass playing on the Shaggs records, which, it's not on every song, but it is there, you'll be like, you might think like an alien just like walked into a room and picked up a bass and like played a couple of notes and then put it down, and then like kind of walking in and out of the room playing a couple of notes, because the bass parts sort of have nothing to do with the song in the best way. They're these incredible musical choices. So when I was playing the bass parts to the stuff, consciously or unconsciously, I was trying to tap into that, because as a fan of the Shaggs and as a person who really knows the music well, and especially working with a band who knows the music really well and taps into that aesthetic, I wanted to get as deep into that bass playing style as I possibly could. And I think for the most part I did, but there was also the notion of we're really good musicians in the basic technical literal sense of, like, we know how to put our fingers on the frets and play in time and how to tune our instruments, blah blah blah. Do I completely avoid that, or do I not? So there's a lot of like black and white choices to make regarding that. So for me, like, sometimes I would decide to play traditional wrong in the Shaggs style, and sometimes it made more sense to just play like a normal bass player. But I think having those kind of normal bass and rhythm choices makes the writing style pop out more. The more individualistic style, as opposed to, just having a basic rock and roll song with rock and roll lyrics. You have kind of like a basic rock and roll song with the Shaggs singular vocal melody style where the guitar is playing the melody right against it, and you have two girls singing in unison against, a standard rhythm section. It still sounds good, and it still sounds kind of like the Shaggs. Alright, last two.
Let me just